Evans and this is Lockdown Lowdown, presented to you by Harley-Davidson. Today we're going to have a chat with Leon Price, who is the sporting director at Envision Virgin Racing. Let's get him on the line and see how he's been getting on. Leon, thank you so much for coming on Lockdown Lowdown. How have you been finding your own lockdown?
Hi Becky, thank you for having me. My lockdown's been okay so far. It's obviously very different to what I'm used to. You know, traveling every other week to races, but it's been fine. I've got my own office here, and technology as it is, we've been managed to stay in communication with the rest of the team, and still trying to start planning for what eventually might be the start of the season again, and with esports happening. So we've been keeping busy, and it's actually quite a bit strange for me because it's probably the first time in all the years I've been racing that I've been spending this much time at home. So in some respects, it's been quite nice. It's been very nice to see the family for extended period. But I think we all need to look to start going racing again soon. We all miss it.
Absolutely. Of all of those rounds, the ones that we have missed just now, which one would you have most liked to have gone to?
I think we just went into lockdown just before Paris, Rome, and Seoul, if I'm correct. And I mean those. I was actually really looking forward to all three of those because Paris and Rome are fantastic cities, and historically we've won races there, so it's always nice to return to places where you've done well. And Seoul as well. That would have been the first time, certainly for me, to go to South Korea, and the track looked really exciting where it was going through the Olympic Stadium. So that was one I was really looking forward to. But it's a shame, but that's where we are, unfortunately. But I think all three of those would have been great races.
I think it's double excitement. If we haven't managed to make those races this year, so for when it actually comes round to going to them next year, you'll have twice the excitement for them. So on a weekend, you're the sporting director for Envision Virgin Racing. Now, somebody told me that is a job where you wear 5 hats in one. Is that true?
I mean it can be busy. It's we do an awful lot of preparation before the events. At the workshop we prepare for every eventuality, and hopefully by the time we get to a race event, things run smoothly. But there's lots of things on my side to consider. From the logistics of getting the team and the freight to the track, the setting up of the garages, car builds, and then there's the other side of it as well, trying to help the commercial and PR teams and help giving our sponsors a good experience at a race weekend. So there's lots of things going on, but it does make the job interesting. It certainly never gets boring.
I was going to ask, on average, if you could guess how many steps you do on a race weekend, how many do you reckon you do?
Well, I used to count. I used to have a Fitbit and count them up. And certainly the first day and the last days, you're over 20,000 steps a day. So
Wow.
it's quite a lot. But you certainly feel it at the end of the week. But but if you come away with a great result, it's a massive buzz, and and that's what keeps you going. And even if you have a bad weekend, you just want to get back going again and trying to get that good feeling back. So it's all worth it.
Absolutely. And one thing I was dying to ask you, having been in those different environments, different cars, what's it like to go to suddenly an oilless pit? To go from cars, where you've got oil everywhere and there's just mess, and then to go to something which is so clinically clean. Must be a dream.
Yeah, well, it's funny you should say that. Again, being in a support paddock for Formula One for so long is it was very hard to have meetings like this. When Formula One sessions were going on, and you couldn't hear yourself think. And being a race mechanic myself for quite a few years, seeing the differences, it's quite nice. You can certainly walk out onto the pit wall and have a conversation with anyone, even while the race is going. So it's a different kind of thing altogether. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, I say everything about the championship that I've come into now is I find it fantastic, and it's the way forward, and it's something that we're all really enjoying.
And for Envision Virgin Racing, you guys aren't a manufacturer team, you're a customer racing team. What is the plan for you guys? Like, what is your big splash? Because you're not here trying to sell any road cars. What is your message?
Yes, true. We're not a manufacturer, but our plan, like every other team, is to win races. Thankfully, we've been pretty successful at that over the last few years. I think to date, we're the only team to win in every season. So from S5, we moved to being an independent team, which was a big step for us because it's a highly competitive series. But we've shown we can be competitive. Highlighted by finishing third in the team championships last year, ahead of some big OEMs. But it's not the only reason we're in FE. We consider ourselves much more than just a race team. Everyone at Envision Virgin Racing cares passionately about the environment, and I've got 3 kids myself, 3 young kids, and I want them to grow up and able to breathe clean, safe air. So through Formula E, we're fortunate enough to have a voice that can be heard by millions of people around the world. I kind of think we've decided to use that to raise awareness for climate change. And after all, what's the point in being in the limelight on the track, and if you don't use it for anything else? So together with our partners, we want to help make a difference and inspire others to play their part too.
You spend so much time around the Formula E cars. Have you ever managed to get yourself in the hot seat yourself?
No, I mean, ever since I grew up, my old man always said to me that I was too tall to be a racing driver. But in fact, I realise now that the reason he was saying that is it was going to cost him too much money to bring me out. But so I went on a different path. I ended up working for him as a race mechanic instead, and I always used to get the ump when the drivers came back after smashing the car up. So I could never trust myself in a race car. So the answer is definitely no, and I don't plan on going out and wrecking one of our cars. That's for sure.
I'll have some faith. I reckon you'd be all right.
Well, if we go somewhere where there's absolutely nothing to hit, or then maybe I'll have a go. But
Leon, let me have a chat with Sylvan, and I'll see what I can sort out for you.
Yeah, maybe we'll roll the Gen 1 car out first just to see.
Perfect. Right, Leon, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we get the racing moving super soon, and we can see you back in your natural environment.
Fingers crossed.
Absolutely, fingers crossed. But thanks so much, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah, great to talk to you. Thanks very much.